we gotta be quiet. There was something really weird over here. I found this super creepy campsite. I wanted to get some footage. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if someone's living back there, and I don't really want to find out. It's so spooky. I'm out here in the Seeslaw National Forest in Western Oregon, car camping and dispersed camping for the very first time. Dispersed camping is allowed in certain parts of the country, national forests or BLM lands. You're allowed to camp for free. So I'm actually sleeping out in the car tonight on this random forest road out in the middle of nowhere by myself. There's a little bit of spookiness. If anyone loves like a good cabin in the woods, classic like scary story, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, and it's so much fun. All right, so you can see back here, I have a little bed set up. I put up this blanket for a little bit of privacy. That's just where my feet are gonna be. Got some extra water, got some snacks up front, and my camera gear right here. And it's an interesting little setup. This is my first time ever doing it, so I'm sure I'm gonna figure out some stuff I like and don't like along the way. Super beautiful, the light's nice and pretty right now. I had been feeling a little bit overdue for a trip or a vacation. Just getting out of town for a little bit. I've been a little stuck in kind of the day-to-day stuff lately. So I had been trying to brainstorm some ways I could still go out and do something cool and not spend too much money. People get bogged down and worried that they don't have enough money to go on cool adventures and stuff. You know, the car rental was only $17 a day, and then going to the dispersed camping, you know, camping out here is free. So I'm out $34. You know, you have to be a little more adaptable than maybe you'd like to be, but there's so many opportunities even if you want to save some money and still go on cool adventures. I think people really lean on excuses as to why they can't do things instead of just figuring out ways they can do things and doing the things that they want and the things that fill them up. All right, we gotta be quiet. There was something really weird over here. Let me show you. It's so spooky. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if someone's living back there, and I don't really want to find out, but that's pretty close to my campsite. Yeah, I don't know about that. It feels pretty lived in back there. If there's someone back there, I have no idea. That's a little bit more than a tent. Like it looks like somebody's like home setup. I did not want to risk running into whoever might live there, if anybody does. All right, so the spooky tangent is over. The main point I was making earlier, though, you know, don't let your excuses control your situation or your life or hold you back from doing the things that you want to do, because you're always going to be able to come up with excuses why you can't do things. I do it all the time. I actively try and avoid it. So just get a little creative sometimes if you want to go out on adventures or do cool things. You know, I'm not beyond sleeping in my car if it means I get to hang out and go on a little mini vacation for under $100. It's totally worth the trade-off for me. You know, you don't have to be some famous, rich Instagram star to be able to travel around and take photos and go on adventures and lead a fulfilling life. You know, you're in control of that stuff. I've been so busy trying to get clients and work on my video business. I just haven't had as much time to dedicate to YouTube and to myself. And so it's gotten me a little bit stressed lately, but already feeling better after a few hours here and continuing to work on making it better all the time. So I think things are going to be really good. So I'm out here taking a picture of this lighthouse. It is so brutally cold and windy, but it is absolutely beautiful. I left the campsite this morning very early to try and catch some good sunrise. Sunsets in the west though, so you're not gonna get it over the ocean, but this is the Devil's Elbow. From here I'm gonna be headed to the Hobbit trail or the Hobbit beach if I can handle this wind. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. I wanted to bring you guys with me. I'm gonna shut this off before my camera goes. Yeah, I'm switching to my phone. I've got this set up for photos already. I didn't want to change it out. But just left the lighthouse. We're at the Hobbit Trail. Keisha Lighthouse, Hobbit Beach, half mile. All right, well, let's go. Hopefully the picture quality looks pretty good from the phone. They've gotten so much better these days. This looks so great though. I always love it walking through here where it almost feels like a hallway or a room, just because there's so much foliage. It's the perfect time of year for it too. Pro tip to anyone that hasn't been to Oregon, if you are visiting, everyone goes to Cannon Beach, which Cannon Beach is great. You have Haystack Rock, the Goonies was shot there, but it's pretty populated. If you go a little bit further south, you have all of these really interesting beaches without very many people in them. So if you do ever make it out to visit Oregon, go further south, hang out at the beach down here. There's a lot more to see, I think. All right, switch back to the main camera, I'll put on my wider lens. Main reason, there is this amazing tree I want to try and get a picture of. That's gonna be a no-go. Couldn't really find a composition that looked nice. That actually happens quite often. Beautiful scenery doesn't necessarily mean beautiful photos, and vice versa. Some stuff just doesn't look very good on camera. I don't really mind though. Landscape photography is pretty much strictly a hobby for me at this point, and it's just nice and calm and quiet. But it looks like we are just about in the last path out to the beach. Everything is looking great. Wow. This is the cleanest sand I've seen at any Oregon beach other than Newport. Usually really rocky. Look at how smooth this is. It's like we're in Florida or something. All right, so I scoped out the beach. I don't see much else in terms of composition, so probably just gonna hang out here for a bit and then make my way back up the coast towards home. Hope you all enjoyed this. Be sure to let me know down below if you have any tips or anything for me, but look forward to seeing you in the next one. I'll talk to you later.